All right, guys, back in the shop today. Today is engine prep day, basically. I'm gonna spend the day getting the pistons that we're gonna put in the new block cleaned up and assembled on the rods. Got to take the old pistons off the rods, and we're gonna save those in case we need them down the road because they're really fresh. They've only got maybe 10 passes on them. The rings are new, so I'm gonna save all that stuff. Just show you what goes into some engine prep stuff. You know, these are using used parts also, but just give you an idea what it entails, getting the engine stuff ready to assemble. We're gonna pick the block up tomorrow, hopefully, so we'll maybe have this thing running by Monday. All right, so here we got one rod we've already disassembled. We took the piston off of the rod already. One of my least favorite jobs. Which we threw these, I'm just gonna throw away the old oil rings because I've got new ones here that came with the last set of rings I bought. I didn't change the oil rings, so I'm just gonna save these and put those away with the pistons. So I just ripped the oil rings off basically and get rid of them. Many engine builders and pretty much anyone that's ever assembled an engine can tell you this is one of the funnest jobs right here, is trying to get these C-clips out here. There's two of them in each side, and they're kind of a nightmare. You can see right there, you can somewhat see the end of it right there, but they're almost impossible to get under, so you gotta try to utilize this little notch here to try to get under them and pry them out like that, and then you can just pull them out once you get the edge started. But try not to deform these because I got to reuse these. But that's what a circlip is right there. Which luckily on this I don't have to take the rest of the rings off because we can just leave them on the piston. So I just took the oil ring off and slid the oil rail support up enough for us to access the circlips. We just take them out of one side, and that'll allow us to push the wrist pin out this side of the piston and get it off of the rod. Not easy task, one-handed for sure, but it should. You know, when you take those circlips out, these wrist pins should slide right out, in theory. This one's a little tough. All right, well, we got that little step done. Not that good of a time. Definitely not YouTube friendly language involved. These things kind of fight you a little bit, and you see all the fun in there. All these circlips you got to get out. But we got the rods off. These rods are very low pass, so we're gonna reuse those. Probably even gonna reuse the bearings, I think, because I don't see any real damage to them. Crankshaft, those are the pistons we took out of the engine. We saved them with the rings, everything intact. Just leave them on the piston. If we ever need them again, they'll be together in the box. So we're gonna get the new used pistons out, the 4125 bores for the new block, clean them up, and then we'll do some reassembly. All right, well, we got that little step done. Not that good of a time. Definitely not YouTube friendly language involved. These things kind of fight you a little bit, and you see all the fun in there. All these circlips you got to get out. But we got the rods off. These rods are very low pass, so we're gonna reuse those. Probably even gonna reuse the bearings, I think, because I don't see any real damage to them. Crankshaft, those are the pistons we took out of the engine. We saved them with the rings, everything intact. Just leave them on the piston. If we ever need them again, they'll be together in the box. So we're gonna get the new used pistons out, the 4125 bores for the new block, clean them up, and then we'll do some reassembly. All right, as you can see, we got I got these 6 assembled. The other 2 are at Michael Hicks with the engine block, so we'll have to put those together when we get them back. Something I want to point out: this is a small block Ford, so the rod orientation on the piston is important, as it is with any engine. But with a small block Ford, the big valve relief right there coincides with the chamfered side of the rod, which is this bevel right here. So if you put that side toward the big valve relief, you'll have a problem. The rod won't go on the crank, it'll bind up. So keep in mind, if you're assembling an engine for the first time, make sure your valve reliefs are oriented the right way. Small block Chevrolet is entirely different because the valves they're not symmetrical. So half your pistons will be one way, half will be another. But just keep that in mind if you're assembling an engine for the first time. I'm gonna hang on to these old rings in case I need one of them, knock on wood. Hopefully I don't, but we got our other 2 rods here ready, waiting for the pistons to get back, and then we'll be on to assembly. Maybe we'll have this thing running by the end of the weekend. All right, guys, that's all the footage we got right now. I was hoping we would have the engine back for assembly, so we'd have a little more footage to go, but for right now, that's all we got. Maybe we'll have make some smoke here in the next couple of days. So make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell, comment on the videos. We only need, I think, 20 more subscribers for another t-shirt giveaway. So, you know, every 50 subscribers are giving away a t-shirt. So we'll see you guys in the next day or 2.